I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, does any of this advice even help? Or not? Welcome to Dear PB, a podcast where we hopefully help you become a better speedrunner, but probably won't. I'm Corvame, but you can call me May, or she, or her.
I'm Swoos. You can call me SWC, or he, or they.
And joining us from Traverse Town, it's JHobz.
Hello. Yeah, JHobz, or he, him, all that works.
We're here with Hobbs because I don't know if it'll be out at this point at the time that you watch this. No, it won't. It definitely won't be out by the time you watch
Definitely
this.
Won't.
Definitely won't. But I'm going to be on Hobbs's podcast next week, and thus we have done the time-honored tradition of guesting on each other's podcasts, mutual exchange.
Yeah.
But we did it. We're here first, so
True.
write that down.
Yeah. It's funny the way that worked. I reached out.
Yeah, you asked
and
me
like,
first.
okay, but you got to be on mine like tomorrow.
Look, we're not people. You might think behind the scenes. Okay, you maybe probably don't think behind the scenes that we schedule these way out in advance. We don't. We're pretty last minute. You can feel free to start whatever. Just count.
Oh, sure.
Count me in.
So I'm doing a KH2 randomizer on critical mode, and so there will be no Traverse Town in this one. Not in this game.
Joining us from the Garden of what's it called?
Oh, you're getting
the Garden of. I don't know what it's called.
Nobody does. It's fine. The Garden of Assemblage.
Assemblance. That's what it is.
Assemblage. Yeah.
Assemblage.
Anyways, this is a KH2 randomizer. I'm doing a really weird and complicated hint system, which should hopefully make it faster, but also make my brain hurt.
Yay!
So yeah, if you ever hear me mumbling to myself, that's why. But anyways, yeah, I can count you in. So,
all right.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So, Kingdom Hearts, what's the verdict? Is it good? Is it really good?
Is it good? Oh boy, that's a complicated question.
Is it
okay.
a game?
It is a game, and it's a
Okay.
game I do enjoy. So I guess
Therefore,
it's
it can't be that
good.
bad.
Some of them are good. Let me
That's
put it
fair.
that way, I guess.
I've talked about
Oh, I
I've
can't
talked
menu.
about this before, but I'm of the belief that everybody needs a piece of disaster media to truly appreciate, no matter like what it does. And for me, that's Kingdom Hearts.
Mhm.
Like I fully recognize that it is disaster media, but I love it.
That's a
And
good
then
way of putting
also,
it.
I just love that Nomura's solution to like plot holes is just to throw more lore at it.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I
but
love
I love
it.
that you love it.
I just love it's like, all right, well, this is a problem. We didn't think this through. So what if we just try to talk our way out of it by adding more people?
Yeah, like we didn't
If you
really
confuse the player, then they won't know what the real lore is.
Yeah, like we didn't think about why Mickey wasn't wearing a shirt in this scene. So why don't we make it a reason why
Yeah,
he's shirtless in this scene?
Exactly.
Yeah. Does
Like,
it matter? No.
No. There are like two ways to go about this, I feel like. You can either just be like, I'm not explaining this because it literally doesn't matter, which is like probably what you should do. And then but then there's also the Kingdom Hearts method of, I will explain this because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Over-explaining.
Exactly. I love it.
It infuriates me to no end, but it is
This
fine
game
because
is-
the gameplay's good.
This game is less complicated than people, or the series is less complicated than people think it is.
That I kind of disagree with, but you know,
don't-
that's fine.
It's just because it's split up over so many different systems.
Yeah, there's so
I
much
mean,
to keep track
also
of.
when you have like one man that's also 13 men.
There is that. But it's like it's not like it's like dumb, but it's not that complicated. I think it's like people are like, oh, all the names sound the same, like they all have X's in them. But then they like watch Lord of the Rings and they're like Saruman and Sauron. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, that did always confuse me.
It did confuse me as a child.
As
Yeah.
a kid, yeah. That's fair.
I'm
guess.
just saying, at least the X's are in different spots.
Yeah, I mean, when you have like 97 games over 3 base games,
That's my favorite one, by the way. Is 97 over 3.
yeah, that's the next game actually. It's a callback to how they have too many games. When you have that many games and 3 base games in air quotes, even though that's probably not true, it gets confusing.
Yeah, so what I like to how I like to describe it is Square Enix really took the CW Arrowverse approach to
They
making
did,
their
yeah.
games, where every single piece of like content has meaning, will be relevant, and is required viewing / playing.
Right.
Yes.
And if you really like it, that's super cool and fun, and it's why like the MCU works really well and people like that. And if you don't like it because it's bad, then it's exhausting.
I will
It is
say
absolutely tiring.
they should do more movies. I think that helped a lot. Like I did not play Union Cross because I didn't know about it until because I like kind of fell out
Nobody
of
did.
I kind of like fell out of Kingdom Hearts until 3 was announced because I was like,
You got
not
too
playing
cool
game-
for it.
No, it was because I'm not playing games on my Vita, which I don't own.
You're required to buy a Vita to understand Kingdom Hearts lore.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh god, what's happened? And then, but then 2.8 HD Remix has a back cover, and I was like, oh okay, that was fun. I didn't know the Master of Master sounded like that. That's neat. That's a decision.
Yeah, pretty much.
I liked back cover. I thought it was fun.
Sure.
It's
I thought it
probably-
was like fine. I think I don't know.
It's not like a
I don't remember
cinematic.
much about it.
It's not like a cinematic masterpiece, but like the last movie produced by Square Enix that I'd seen before that was the first Final Fantasy movie, so it was better than that.
Fair.
True.
So I'm gonna do a thing here real quick where I'm gonna go into anti-form a bunch of times because I got an ability that allows me to unlock final form pretty quickly, basically.
Anti-form is when you come and you bring knit goods and cookies for the holidays.
Oh, I was like, where are you going with this? Okay, got it. Yeah,
that makes
this
sense.
game has like these dry form transformation things that are super neat, and one of the reasons I love this game. And in Rando, we can get final form like right away if you have this ability, Light and Darkness, that I need to take off. So that's cool.
Remember, my last thought about back cover is that like I more appreciate it for being a 40-minute. Here's what happened in Union Cross. You don't
Here's
you don't
what you
need to
missed.
play it. You're good because it is super important for the overall lore. Oh
Yeah.
man, holy crap! Is it like critical lore?
Yeah, it's just like, for me, it gets frustrating when you have moments like you're playing KH2 and just somebody pops up and it's in this big dramatic moment and you're just sitting there going like, who the fuck are you?
That happened to me. The
What is
spoiler
happening?
alert cutscene at the end of Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
3. I was like, who? And then
Is
my
it a
friend,
spoiler
my
to
friend
say
was
that
like,
there's a cutscene?
well, there's a post-credits cutscene.
Okay,
It's like the
still.
MCU, like we said.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the MCU. You should expect them by now.
And my friend who's like super into Kingdom Hearts was like freaking out, and I was like, "Bitch, who is that?" And they were like,
Yeah.
"Okay, go watch back cover now." And I was like, "Okay."
All right, go play 6 other games and go to the developer's website from 2007 and
I still need to finish
you-
Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, it's like, do you have your Verizon phone from
Yeah.
04? Because you got to play the VCast game.
the mobile game.
Because there's a coded, which I'm actually playing recoded, and is better. The story is so bad that every time I've tried to watch the movie for recoded, I've fallen asleep, and I've tried
Okay.
3 different times.
Recoded is the beginning of Nomura not knowing what computers are.
It's actually a pretty good way of putting it.
There's that that old strong bad email that has the line, "Technology means magic." It's pretty much anything complicated where you don't understand how it works, and that's computers in Kingdom Hearts.
That's computers as a whole.
It's really computers in this game. Oh my goodness!
but just-
Sora
I
gets
agree.
digitalized so many times.
I was saying, in this game, computers are just paper. Or rather, paper is just a computer. And I will
Makes sense.
explain no further.
Computers are just another. They follow the same mechanics as any other world, but you can't lock them. That's pretty much it. I also feel like part of the reason why people are so confused by this game is because Kingdom Hearts 1 doesn't matter.
Yeah,
so-
it kind of undoes a bunch of
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Like, so much of 1 is retconned in 2 and Chain of Memories that it's like, it makes it more confusing than it is. Since, you know, they retconned the villain.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I think that's also kind of like why I like KH1 the most in terms of
Really?
story stuff.
Okay,
well,
in terms of story stuff.
story at least. And because it's like, oh, it's just simple. Bad guy do bad. Like,
Yeah.
beat bad guy. Light, dark, cool. And even that was already kind of like a little more convoluted than it needed to be. Not convoluted, but like a little more teenage angst than it needed to be.
Oh, yeah. 1 is the angstiest of the games, I think.
Is it?
One is the angstiest of, like, I feel like 1 doesn't have the angstiest characters, but it has the most plot angst.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's
I think that's fair.
Riku is just so much in 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whereas,
he's
like, all the
definitely-
angst tends to be, like, organization members later on, and they just, like, kind of show up, like, do their thing and then head out.
Mhm.
Who's everyone's favorite organization member? Susie, go first.
The organizer.
Okay, good try.
As you can tell, I'm up to date on my Kingdom Hearts.
You go next, Vic, 'cause I gotta do a think.
Huh?
You go next. Oh, your favorite organization member?
Zigbar.
Oh, Zigbar. Oh, okay.
Is that like a Ligma joke?
No, it's an actual name.
For me, I think my favorite organization member. I was gonna come up with something funny, and I can't think of anything because I'm bad at improv, despite the fact that I do it every week, on
No,
like a show.
I feel that.
Imagine.
Yeah, but no, actually my favorite is maybe, I don't know. Zigbar is really cool. Zigbar
rules.
and also like Demix is kind of fun because he's
Yeah,
just kind
Demix
of like
is
a coward.
I was gonna say
And
Demix is my runner-up.
funny.
Demix is like peak ADHD energy.
He's just kind of like, "Ah, I don't want to be here, but I already committed, and I'd feel more awkward canceling."
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
what a mood.
Demix is the most relatable one.
Yeah.
All right, so this is an advice show, by the way.
Oh, okay.
We do.
Really?
Yeah. People don't know that. We don't like to tell them. We like to, you know, kind of bury the lead on that one. Yeah, this is an advice show, which means that you send in questions and then we give our valuable advice. Yep, something like that.
Yeah.
And we have a couple questions sent in to us by your lovely community.
Sick.
Dear PB, I lost my Kingdom Hearts 2 save data on PS 2 years ago at the final boss and never finished it. What would you recommend I do to get back to being overpowered and awesome in the shortest amount of time? And should I just start on one of the newer versions instead of the PS2? From Ethan K.
Ethan, yeah. Yeah, probably start on one of the newer versions. Not because of anything you just said, but because they add so much.
Oh, that too.
They're just better.
In Final Mix, they really added like a ton.
Also, they load
also-
faster?
Yes, although honestly, PS2 isn't too bad.
None of the games are like super
be
bad,
worse.
but like, you might as well,
Well-
if you have a PS4, you might as well do it on the PS4 because it'll be faster.
Yeah, the worst one is just don't play KH2 on an English version of KH2 on PC or on PS3. Excuse me, I'm playing on
Really?
PC right now. It adds 40 minutes of loads to the game,
Cool.
Why?
and the Japanese version only adds 20.
Oh,
Um,
only.
Huh.
Yeah,
'cause,
it's messed up.
This is a pretty common thing where if it's a DSi-enabled game, that it loads slower on 3DS. Wait.
I was like, yeah, sure, common, and
It's
3DS,
more load
sure.
time, so you can reflect on the lore dump that you're getting.
Exactly. You need to. It's like how in Skyrim or Oblivion, you have to reflect on what you've learned in order to put points in your abilities. It's like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that like play the game on one of the newer versions. It looks really good. Like they did a pretty good job with the upscaling of everything. And it's just like, yeah, the load times are way better. It feels nicer to play overall with just like more modern controllers. And yeah, you get all the extra content. And there's like a lot. Like KH2 had, until KH3, like the most content added into its final mix version.
Yeah.
KH3 even like, you know, it needed DLC.
Yeah, you gotta pay for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you actually did have to pay for it. It wasn't free. That's
Yeah,
right.
it was not free.
Yeah.
Some of it was free, I think, but not whatever it's called.
Yeah, there's like a New Game Plus update or whatever, but
yeah,
Remind
that
wasn't free.
Remind was not free. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Remind was fun. I liked Remind.
Yeah, Remind was fun if you don't play it right after replaying the game.
I
do a
did
lot
not. I
of
played
the
it like 2 years
same-
later.
Yeah, which a lot of people did, and probably why a lot more people had more fun with it than I did.
Well, so even 2 years later, I was like, huh, I remember these cutscenes. I remember limping as Mickey.
Yeah, you kind of like...
But Data
redo a lot
Org in
of
3
shit.
is really fun.
Yes, yeah, that is absolutely.
I have not beaten it. I've beaten
Neither have I.
12 of them.
Oh, you've beaten more than I have.
I've beaten 12. Well, so a couple of years ago, my graphics card imploded at the peak of the graphics card price thing.
Oh, that's
which
what
was
you want.
awesome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, it
generally
was
what
really
you
good.
want in life.
And so
That's
I just
optimal.
streamed from my PS4 for a bit, and so I was like, I guess I'll just do Data Org, I guess. That was fun. And then I played a little bit of Birth by Sleep, but I never finished it. Also,
Birth by
that's another
Sleep's
thing. If you have a PS4 or a PC and you buy like one of the like 2.5 or 1.5 or whatever, or 2.8, whichever one, I think it's 2.5, you get like a bunch of other games too. So
yeah, 1.5 plus 2.5 is like the
There's
one
4.
of them.
yeah.
And then there's yeah, it's just 4. And then there's the 2.8
2.8
collection. It's really good.
Yeah, 2.8 is great. Things you can only say about Kingdom Hearts.
0.2 is very good, but you know, 2.8 overall, I'm not sure if it's worth it. It's just yeah, this game's weird.
Well, 2.8 has what? It has back cover. It has 0.2 final chapter prologue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, no, excuse me. It's like Birth
Dream
by
Drop
Sleep.
Distance?
Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 0.2 final chapter prologue.
Oh my god.
We asked
It
that.
is
We asked
absurd.
that on Think Fast, and I don't remember. I think it was in the first part, and they just immediately got it. And I was like, man,
Yeah, because we all know how fucking stupid it is.
yeah, exactly. Because that one is what, Dream Drop Distance, my least favorite Kingdom Hearts game, and then is Birth by Sleep in that one?
Birth by Sleep is in 1.5 plus 2.5.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if your goal is to not spend more money and you still have your PS2 and your PS2 copy, then like do that, I guess. But like otherwise, I would just do the PC version, probably,
Yeah.
of 2.5, 1.5 plus 2.5. And then
Plus, you could do Rando if you get it on PC, which is fun.
here's my actual advice, and that is if your goal is just to like plot it up, just play it on normal.
Play it on beginner, even.
Or beginner,
honestly,
yeah,
if
like
you
it
want.
doesn't. I'm a big fan of like playing games on not the hard difficulty if I want to play them for the plot, because I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone. I made that mistake with Birth by Sleep, is that I did it on proud, and then I was like, wait, I'm bad. Also, Birth by Sleep was like a bit clunky because it was
Because it was
a PSP game.
Yeah. It's weird. They did like a pretty good job with that port because it still looks very clunky.
It does, yeah.
And it still is in some ways, but once you actually go play it, it's like a little less clunky than you expect it to be based on how it looks.
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I first played it. I never played it on the PSP or anything. I'd watched my friends like speedrun it and stuff, and then one day eventually I played it. And I was just kind of surprised that it felt better to play than it looked. If that makes sense.
None of the Kingdom Hearts games honestly feel particularly bad to play, I feel.
No, even Recoded, which has, because it's a DS game, is like a weird ass control scheme in a way. Once you get a little used to it, it's like it still plays pretty okay. And I only started playing that one this week, or last week.
I like that. I just realized that our timer is perfectly blocking the command menu.
Oh, beautiful! So nobody could see all my amazing, perfect menuing. And
Well, if you go into a sub
never
menu,
make
they can
floors.
probably see that. So
That's actually designing a layout for like Kingdom Hearts was kind of a pain when I first started running this back in like 2014.
Correction, you should 100% play 2 on PC so you can skip Gummy Ship with the mod.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because 2's Gummy Ship is not good.
Why did I get no hint?
3's
from that?
Gummy Ship honestly slaps.
Yeah, I agree with that. Also, 2's Gummy Ship is, I think, very fun casually. It just sucks as soon as you've done it once.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's too much of it. It's like the mechanics are fine, but
yeah,
it's better than 1's. That's for sure.
All right, I might be doing this rando with no hints, even though I picked a hint system that was supposed to be extra confusing because for some reason when I picked up something that should have given me a hint, it didn't.
Oops.
So we're just
you don't
gonna
need hints,
roll
right?
it. It'll be fine. I've already got one of the 3 things I need to beat the game, so it's fine. It's fine.
Whoa. Yeah, just
Don't worry,
know where
it'll take
everything
us
is.
forever to find all the rest.
Yeah, you just gotta remember where everything is in Rando. It's easy.
Yeah.
I tried doing this once, and then the problem, it was fun, but the problem is that I don't actually know where anything is.
Yeah, there's some good like guides and stuff to help people get into KH2 Rando, including like some map trackers and stuff like that. Eventually, it just becomes second nature where all the chests are. But there's like 500 checks in this game, so like
there are a lot of checks.
Yeah, it's understandable to like not remember shit, because there's just a lot of it, and you got to always be kind of thinking about multiple different things.
When are they
trying
adding
like, level drives?
When are they adding this to Archipelago?
Wait, why does my tracker say level 1? Okay, hold on. I'm now very confused. Did I just like not load the seed into it? Give me 1 second. Oh no! And now I just like reset everything on the track. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go. It's gonna be fine. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that did fix it, kind of. It also broke some other stuff, but it did kind of.
Have they add anything to Archipelago lately?
They have not.
Hurry up and add Kingdom Hearts 2 to Archipelago, because then I would actually be more inclined to learn it.
I have no idea what that is.
Archipelago is the like multi-world randomizer where your checks are like split between multiple players' games.
Oh, I'm actually working on a multi-world for this game.
Whoa, well, there you go.
Connected to Archipelago.
Connected to Archipelago.
I will need to learn more about what that is.
I'll put a link in Discord.
I was just making.
Yeah, basically, it's like a relatively standardized multi-world system for all different games.
Oh, and, so that would be great because it would totally erase everything that I've been working on.
I don't know how it works for like in-game multi-world if you can just connect it to that and do it all at once, but yeah, basically
you can do more than one of the same game in an Archipelago.
There was recently a async multi-world with 600 players doing a bunch of different games. And it was interesting because I was looking through the list on like who was where, and there were a couple instances of one person doing like 7 copies of the same game. So it's like this person doing Link to the Past 7 times. It's like, why would you want to do that?
It's a lot of Link to the Past.
That is
if you really like Link to the Past, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of supported games that are pretty cool.
I looked into trying to add Crystal KR to Archipelago, and I was like, wow. There's not a good way to do this. Okay. This would require me to be a lot better at assembly.
Yeah, that's the problem with older games.
The Garden of Assembly.
True.
For me, the stuff I've been working on has been the web server part. So basically exactly the part you're talking about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Maybe look into it.
Hope you didn't get too far, but
yeah, it's fine because I wanted to use it for like to make web trackers as well anyways, so I would still need it.
There is built-in web tracker stuff in Archipelago.
Okay, well maybe, somebody should have told me about this a little bit ago.
Well,
this is why we invite you on the show to tell you about Archipelago. We're here to do marketing for Archipelago, despite the fact that we never do it anymore. Because there's like 3 games and like we don't actually run any of them.
Yeah.
Sorry, there are 3 games that we know, none of which we run. There are a good number of games, but it's like I don't know Sonic Advance, Sonic Adventure. That's
Sonic Advance. I was about to say.
Sonic Adventure 2.
Sonic Adventure 2 is fun.
I know.
I've never
there are
done
a bunch
Rando,
of games
though.
that I like. I want to do more Archipelago. I want to do more randomizer stuff, but it's like
Yeah.
I don't love Pokemon Randomizer. That's why I know the best.
And in this case, you're kind of like forced to play a certain game if you want to
Yeah.
do this, and it's like
Pokemon Randomizer is like such a different thing than like the check-based randomizer, which I think is more fun.
Right.
And like
They
there's
are.
KIR, because that's like the one check-based randomizer in Pokemon. But then I have to play Crystal, which I don't want to do.
Even this is like it's very check based, but it's not very like logic based. Like you don't have to necessarily reason out a bunch of stuff. One of the reasons I'm like the hint system I'm doing is a hint system called Paths, and like I said, I picked it because it would be potentially fast and also very confusing for me. But the nice thing about it too is that it's like you actually have some way of kind of having to feel like you're solving the seed in a way, which is what I really like in randos and why Ori and the Blind Forest randomizer is like the best randomizer. It's so good.
That's what if they added that to Archipelago?
I think we already had like multi-world stuff.
Are there any pull requests for new randos?
I'll take a look.
Red and Blue, initial implementation.
Ooh. I think the newest thing that was added is Meritus Gaiden, a procedurally generated bullet hell dungeon crawl game.
That's cool. That's exciting. Red and Blue. Sudoku?
Sudoku. Well, there is an idle game where you just sit there. It was an April Fool's joke, and it's still a thing. So you can be like, all right, cool. I got your check in 25 minutes. I just need to wait.
Oh, no.
The StarCraft 2 one gets a ton of work, apparently.
Yeah.
Wow, I would guess that.
There's also Minesweeper. That I guess when you complete a map, it gives you a check.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator was open on May 31st, but it was not it's called the Undertale Galaxy. I don't know what that is. Is it Mario Galaxy?
Mario Galaxy would be really impressive if they managed to get that working.
I don't know. It just says Galaxy. Noida, that'd be cool. Yeah, implement more randomizers to Archipelago, but don't make me do it. I don't want to.
Right. At Cool Developers.
At Cool Developers, yeah. I have enough development work to do, okay? I don't have time for this. I'm sorry.
Same.
In this economy?
I don't know why, but the way you said that made me want to follow it up with like localized to your kitchen. Like it sounded too much like steamed hams.
This economy? No, yeah, Galaxy is Super Mario Galaxy.
That's rad.
So that is cool.
Yeah, when you gotta learn Factorio for our.
I'm trying to play it casually right now, and it's hard.
It is hard. It's a hard game.
It's a hard game. We're at like the second science pack, and it's like I don't want to automate this stuff anymore.
I could learn.
Our automation just looks like crap.
I could learn The Witness, a game I hate.
I just started playing that recently, actually. And I'm starting to hate it too.
I hate that game. I think it's kind of bad.
Have you played The Looker?
Not played The Looker.
It's like a 30-minute free to download game. I think from the same dev. It's like a half parody with like the same mechanics or similar mechanics.
Huh.
My hatred of The Witness comes from the fact that I like the game because like that whole game is about like teaching you without words, right?
Yeah.
And the game taught me incorrectly, essentially. Like I found a solution to a bunch of the early puzzles that just didn't work. And I got completely stuck because I had learned the rules wrong.
Yeah,
like, this game sucks.
I think that's where I am right now.
Yeah,
because I've done some stuff in it, but I've hit a point where I've now bounced off of like 6 different places, and I feel too stupid to be able to like go any further.
And
which
it's
is
like,
annoying, but
if you're gonna do the thing where you try to learn or teach the game without teach the game that way, then you have to make it very foolproof, right?
Yeah.
Because I am a fool.
Yeah, it's kind of
like,
like
I will prove it to you.
To me, it's kind of like the design goals, similar design goals of like Dark Souls games, where they're supposed to be hard and like you're supposed to go through, like, spend a long time going through them because your reward is supposed to be very good, right? Like the payoff is supposed to feel fantastic when you finally like beat it. And it's similar in this kind of, oh well, that's unfortunate that was right there, but whatever. It's similar in this, that in the Witness, where it's like if you spend forever on a thing and then you finally have that aha moment, it like kind of retroactively becomes worth it in some ways. But some people are just never going to have that aha moment.
Yeah.
Right.
If there's no way to like nudge them along, and that just sucks.
The Witness is also maybe the most pretentious game I've ever played.
Yeah.
It is unreal how pretentious. There's a really good review of it that like very much summed up how I feel about it, which is like, I want to like this game, but it feels like rotten in a way. This is one of my hotter video game takes, that I don't like The Witness.
I'm still giving it, like, I'm not quite putting myself on the I don't like it yet, since I'm still fresh with it a little bit, but I'm getting there more and more each time I pick it up.
It sucks because it's the kind of game that in theory I should love. Like, I love super exploration-y games, right? Where it's all about like and like the Witness thing is like super cool. And like I think that part's cool. It's just that like I think that so much of the rest of it I just don't like. There's another game that did a very similar thing that I played recently that I thought was really good. I don't remember what it is, but I remember thinking it was good.
In some ways, I think Tunic does some similar stuff.
Yes, Tunic.
Way
Tunic's
better.
it. Tunic's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Tunic is awesome. Play Tunic.
Yeah.
Tunic does a
Tunic's
lot
great.
of the same things where it's like, we're not going to explain things to you and you need to figure it out for yourself. But it does it.
But it's
it is,
better.
But it's not a, like, yeah, exactly. And it does it in ways where it's like, it explains it, like, eventually things are explained to, like, are sort of explained to you. You still have to like do a little bit of work to figure it out, but you're like, oh, I could have done that the whole time. What? Hi, this is post-production May, the May that gets added in after the fact. Did you know we have a Patreon? If you're already a Patreon subscriber, this message isn't for you. Thank you, we love you, you can tune out for this part. But if you're not, for only $3 a month, you can get access to episodes early and get a bonus episode at least once per month. The bonus episodes are like different from the regular episodes. They're a lot more unhinged, which is kind of saying something. You get access to all the ones we've already done, even if you subscribe now, so that's cool. We don't want to have to run ads during this program, because ads suck, and supporting us via the Patreon helps us not have to do that. You can check it out at patreon.com/DearPBPod if you're interested and can afford to do so. You're already supporting us by listening to the show and telling others about it, so this is kind of like a bonus thing you could do if you really like it. Okay, cool, I'm done, bye.
Yeah, and it also, like, the way a lot of the stuff doesn't necessarily matter, like, that much for a while, too. So if you don't ever figure it out, it's like, all right, whatever, just keep moving.
Yes, exactly. There's stuff that I never figured out in Tunic, and I only learned about by learning the speedrun, so I don't super recommend that run. It's really, really, really hard.
Oh, yeah, no, the speedrun is extremely difficult.
It's the second hardest run I've learned, probably. And I've never completed a run of it.
You want to know the hardest run I've learned?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Sure is.
Yep.
Which is funny because Kingdom Hearts 1 beginner is like baby's first speed game. Like, it's really not that bad, at least in terms of the realm of RPGs. So, like, you still have to have, like, you know, pages of notes and shit. But it's really not that hard to learn. But then KH2 is just like the hardest monstrosity.
It's just a harder game in general because it's a lot more complicated of a game just mechanically. It's not like a super complex game, but like it is a more complicated game.
Yeah, it has a lot more combat depth to it.
Yeah.
The trade-off is that you pretty much always know where to go because you just hold forward. That was something when I was...
Which I think is good, because Kingdom Hearts 1 is, like, so bad at conveying where to go.
Right, which I, as a kid, didn't mind, but as an adult, I would totally be annoyed by, and I understand why people who get into it later are annoyed by it. Mm-hmm. As a kid, though, I'm just having fun wandering around all these Disney worlds, so it, like, didn't matter too much if things just randomly
As a kid,
happened.
I couldn't get... I, like, got stuck on Kingdom Hearts 1 for, like, years, because I just didn't know where to go.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I was real young when that game came out, so...
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Because it came out, what, 2001?
2002.
2002, yeah, so I was 8.
I played KH1, KH2, and I don't think I ever got past the first part in either of them. So
that is fair, because it's not like not as much getting lost as just like you gotta. It has the Persona problem where you gotta get through the boring part to have the fun video game show itself.
Right.
Also, Twilight
yeah.
Town is like, for whatever reason, like the least linear part of this game, I feel.
Yeah, probably.
It's just like the layout of the town is confusing.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's a lot more linear, which is kind of funny because it kind of baits you into be like, oh man, this looks to be like Destiny Islands 2 where I just don't know where to go.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely not the most linear thing. I think I remember like having some trouble with remembering where to go when I would do just like kind of casual runs of this. Just trying to like kind of figure stuff out. I need to check another thing. All right. I'm gonna go do a thing that I think I wouldn't normally do right now in these circumstances, but is way funnier, so let's do it.
I forgot how much more inventive the worlds in 2 are too. There's just a lot more of them than in 3.
Oh, then in 3, yeah.
Than in 3. Sorry,
I would
3
say,
is probably
it
like
makes sense that 2 did more than 1.
3 is like the least interesting set of worlds, probably.
But Frozen.
Oh.
Frozen World's the worst
that
one.
wasn't what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, well, it's the hot new IP from like 5 years before the game came out.
I don't blame Square Enix for it being the worst one. It very much feels like Disney's fault, but it is the worst one.
It is.
Yeah, the best one is obviously Pirates.
I liked the Pirates one.
Pirates World is fantastic. I'm not being sarcastic. That
Yeah,
is
okay, good. People didn't like it, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
you
and
just
they're
get to collect
wrong.
crabs. It rules.
Those people are so wrong.
It's such a cool world.
I also like I went to. We were fortunate enough when I was a kid to like happen to know somebody who like had property in the Caribbean.
Okay.
So I actually got to go there a few times, and they straight up like captured the feeling that I remember having as a kid of wandering around not islands, but like wandering around the one place where we were. And like just there's always kind of like things around every corner and stuff. They captured that really well.
That's cool.
And I just remembered finding that really cool. All right, so yeah, this is what I'm gonna do for the next like 2 minutes.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm gonna quick run right next to Roxas, and eventually he'll die as a result.
I love running next to someone so much that they die.
Yeah.
It happens.
Me at the gym. I'm the person dying.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like, yeah, I'm usually if I'm running, I'm the one who feels like death, but
I can in fact run too much and then die.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Same. Wow, they're just like me for real.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry for the anyone listening, the audio only version of this. This is like kind of real rough.
Yeah.
yeah, this is. I kind of didn't think about that.
Wait, did we cut out game audio for the podcast
Yeah.
version? Okay, never mind. You're just confused.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
benefit of the listener,
Yeah, I'm just. I stole Roxas's keyblades from him, and then I'm quick running next to him over and over and over again, and it's doing chip damage, which everybody always loves when they see this in Rando for the first time, because it's really funny.
Is this the any % strategy?
It is absolutely not, because it's
seems
way
very
too slow.
That
It's
seems
way
slow.
too slow. I will say though, when I was learning this run on critical mode, I did do this for a run or two, because it's a really hard fight normally, like to do the actual strategy, and I would like die a bunch of times. Then I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and quick run him because I know I'll get past it eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the actual fight lasts like 20 seconds, and this takes like 2 minutes, so
It happens.
oh, I am maybe in trouble. No, we're good,
Okay, but I was like, please don't choke us now.
After
Yeah,
all that.
normally you have like some spell to finish him off with, and I don't have one that I could use. I only have Magnet and Reflect, neither of which I could have used to finish him there, and that was one of the reasons why I probably wouldn't have done this normally, on top of like it's likely I'm gonna be able to fight him better later, but yeah, whatever.
It was funny, so
Yeah, that was
And
that
at
was
the
why.
it's more important to be funny than it is to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's both like your actual like timer time and also having fun.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm very much always a fan of screw getting a good time when I can instead have more fun or be more entertaining.
Yeah. Having fun in your speedruns? Ugh.
Who would do that?
Imagine that.
That's why I don't like having fun in speedruns. That's why I speedrun
No.
Pokemon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Don't die. Unless that's what you're
No,
supposed to do.
so I was getting hit in order to be less than half health.
Oh, okay.
So that I could use experience boost to get more
So you can
experience.
go to Torrent.
However, I forgot to put that my experience boost that I have is on a Keyblade that I did not equip. So
Oh.
me getting hit there was pointless. But it is what it is. Where am I gonna go? This is a weird seed. I'm getting like no hints.
Well, I mean, before you were just getting no hints for broken
from
reasons. So I
being
guess
bad at
better than
setting
that.
things up. True,
Dear
it's true.
PB, does being tall give you an advantage or hindrance when speedrunning?
It means my back hurts more often, so it's absolutely a hindrance.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it is an advantage when running wires in the studio, so I guess that's something.
That's true. That was helpful.
Yeah, Hobbs and I were just running wires for a while.
Through a ceiling, and almost didn't need a stepladder at all.
Nice.
We did.
We definitely needed a stepladder a little bit.
Yeah, we got it so that it was a little easier to do, but
so that's speedrunning adjacent.
Yeah.
So I guess it's an advantage when speedrunning parentheses event production, and it's a disadvantage when speedrunning parentheses speedrunning.
Yeah.
If you don't have like a good setup where like your monitor is like on your same level, you gotta like slouch, and that's not fun.
Yeah, I have to have like everything on arms.
What if you ran something on a separate screen so you always had to slash no matter what?
Ugh.
That's pretty good. I recommend that.
Don't
mean,
listen
And
to
I
me,
have
folks. Yeah, now I finally have some more
Now you have a
magic. I got a
spell.
Blizzard on levels and Thunder, and then Magnet Burst is a good ability that allows me to use my magic stat to actually deal damage. I need Goofy to be alive.
Yeah, when I was in college, I had my second screen, which is just the TV on, or what I ran off of. My TV was on my mini fridge, and it was tall enough that I could
Nice.
look up at it. Very useful.
Okay, all of these, equipping all the abilities made me think of Paper Mario's badge system. Does Thousand Year Door have a randomizer?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Thanks. Or wait,
that sounds-
it has
I
multiple.
imagine it does.
That
Yeah.
sounds rad as heck.
So we were looking at this a couple episodes ago when we were talking about randomizers. Whoa.
Oh yeah, we looked at the master list of randomizers.
Yeah. So there's
Let's look at the master list of randomizers again.
So there's two of them at least. There's a loading zone randomizer, which is kind of lame. You literally just every loading zone you go into is a random loading zone. So I think like the speedrun strat is to like get stuff that lets you beat Shadow Queen and then randomize into Shadow Queen room and then beat Shadow Queen. There's also a shuffleizer, which
Okay, like Mario Shuffler?
no.
No?
What is a shuffleizer?
It's basically a randomizer, but
The
it's
Sims 4 has a randomizer?
so the definition of this is most one-time collectible
Oh.
field items, the House of Badges, Dazzle's badges, and Charlie Tin's Rogueport wares are all shuffled together from a fixed pool of items. So it's not necessarily randomized, but it's like kind of randomized.
Oh, that's... Pokemon
And then-
apparently, Gen 1 through 3 now has a type chart randomizer. That's messed up.
That is awful. There is also a proper item randomizer that randomizes all all items that are not important items nor upgrades. So your hammers and boots are still in the same place, but everything else is randomized.
Golden Sun Randomizer sounds cool. I haven't played that game in forever.
Yeah, it's
God,
ridiculous just how many things have randomizers at this point. Also, apologies for like the incessant beeping that's going to happen. That's just I'm trying to boost my levels.
I did not help.
So.
No? I think we go to Kingdom Hearts. It's like multiple. Like it's just the name of the person who made it next to it because there's so many. What else has a
Die? Okay, good.
Maybe I'll do TTYD item rando.
That sounds neat.
That does sound pretty cool.
Roller Coaster Tycoon has one.
Of course.
Randomized scenario goals, scenario lengths, park values like starting cash, the base stats of each ride type,
Huh.
and then it can re-roll rides.
Huh.
It really just boggles my mind because it's like for the longest time, Pokemon kind of had a rando before everybody else.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon Randomizer just existed without it ever really being a big thing in the speedrunning community or anything like that for a while. And then Link to the Past got a randomizer and everybody was like, I want this for everything. And they made it for everything.
Melee has one.
Yeah,
Okay, that doesn't
Randomized
shock me.
hitbox throws, character attributes, music, textures, and more.
Yeah,
jeez.
I'm aware of that, and it's kind of wild.
It seems wild.
It is possible to randomize too much.
That is true.
Yep. I do agree.
Metopia has one.
Oh.
Beatopia, jeez. Yeah, it's kind of I'm just always surprised when I hear like. Well, I was so surprised for so long that I got to the point where I'm no longer ever surprised.
Right.
Yeah.
That like everything has a rando.
Like both everything has a rando, and then also like you see some things where it's like, how does this not have a rando?
Right. What was it
Like
that I was playing? Oh, I was playing Haiku the Robot for the first step recently, and that like somebody was in chat because I like did a thing and they were like, "Oh, cool, I'll make that a note for the rando." I was like, "You're already working on a rando for this?
okay.
It's been out for like 2 weeks."
Cool.
Meanwhile, like we asked a friend of ours who does a lot of Hat and Time modding whether or not we could like they'd be able to add Hat to Archipelago, but Hat is like broken and you like can't connect with outside services now. So like
Allegedly, it might have been fixed recently.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's possible because there was a problem with crowd control for Hat.
Yeah. Yeah, something with the web server just did not work with the game. Because the game is made in Unreal Engine 3.
Yay.
Oh,
Which
wow.
was released
3.
in like 2004. Because the game started development like 2 years or like 1 year before UE4 came out.
Yeah.
And I guess they just never swapped over.
To be fair, that sounds like a pain.
Yeah. So, it's a pretty old engine for the game, and modding is all on the custom, like, Unreal script or whatever.
I looked into doing crosscode randomizer at one point, but then like I was like, oh wait, the logic for this actually be really complicated. Also, it's extremely easy to crash crosscode.
That's fun.
Because I was like, oh, I'll just randomize all the items. But if your partners, like your AI partners, have equipment, and if they have equipment equipped to them that isn't equipment that's in the right slot, it just crashes.
Huh.
Because the entire game's written in JavaScript, so you just get like a
Oh god.
like a JavaScript error. You're like, uh oh.
That's great.
So it's really easy to mod, but it's like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I thought about trying to make a game in JavaScript at some point, like looking into what, libraries exist for doing stuff. knowing full well it would be a bad idea if I did, but never
Well,
really followed up on that.
The wild thing with like crosscode is that in order to port it to consoles, they essentially have to like write an entire thing to like port, to like recompile the JavaScript into like transpile it into like
C or something.
C or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, but also like, oh man.
Yeah. Sounds like a nightmare. It's like the worst of both worlds because you now have to deal with like C, which you were probably trying to avoid dealing with, and also you gotta deal with JavaScript. So it's.
I think they worked with like another group to do it, which makes sense. Because that's a very like, there's a very like specific set of skills I think you need for that.
Yes, I would imagine. And they're all related to trying to get Liam Neeson's daughter back.
Yes, exactly.
By the way, because of that like stuff I messed up before, I'm basically just doing this like there's no hint system in it whatsoever because certain things broke that wouldn't matter in a lot of hint systems but matter a lot in this one. Because the way that the hints for this are supposed to work is they're supposed to tell me like it's supposed to tell me basically that like the items I find in a specific world, their vanilla locations, like where you find them in the base unrandomized game, will help point me towards like the key items basically. But the problem is half of my items got like placed in the wrong world on my tracker. Because of the mistakes earlier. So
how many proofs do you have?
I have 1 and I need 3.
Gotcha.
And also like need enough tools to be able to beat the game. But honestly, I got pretty lucky with getting a ton of tools right away. So I think I'm pretty solid on tools. I mostly just need the proofs.
All right, so there is a good chance that we do not in fact finish this.
Oh yeah.
But that is fine.
Yeah, there was definitely a good chance I would have if I had not been an idiot.
Look, being an idiot is like what the show's about, so don't worry.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. On brand.
We're here to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Like podcasting.
I've really enjoyed actually doing the podcast. How long have you all been doing it at this point?
Since January.
I don't know. January, yeah. So
okay, so it's still pretty like fresh to a degree. I mean, it's like many months in, but
this is episode 32.
Let me look.
Also, just don't look at the screen right now. Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen. It's fine. Just don't
Oh, that's normal.
Yeah,
that's like a Zelda glitch.
Oh,
our first episode was January 24th, and it was literally. I don't remember who it was, but literally somebody was like, "Oh, that's normal."
Yeah. This is literally like a trick out of the Wind Waker.
Oh. All right, so if it weren't Rando, I would have soft locked my game right there.
Thank you.
Thanks,
but it's
Al.
Rando. So we put some stuff in. I say we. I had nothing to do with it. They somebody put in a loading zone there, so that way you don't completely screw everything up.
I'm like mesmerized.
Yeah, normally
so
I do this
if you
with
lag the game as you grab the ledge.
Normally I do this with master form, which makes it like significantly easier. Okay, there we go.
Nice.
And I don't have that, so I had to like figure out a different way to do it. Now my favorite strat, gliding at a wall in order to damage it. We like to damage things by not actually like touching them. Yeah, with just movement.
Movement is the most damaging because it's to your hands and also your opponents.
Ooh.
I mean, movement is generally how most people damage their bodies, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're just taking that a step further. Oh, this is normal.
Yeah, don't worry about this. This totally makes sense.
Come on, sorry.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's called a core skip or Cavern of Remembrance skip, because that's what this area is called, Cavern of Remembrance. And the idea is that there's two, like this is an end game area, a post game area that did not exist in the PS2 version.
I
Or
don't
the
remember
non-Final
it.
Mix version. Yeah. And it's got a lot of like post-game Heartless fights that are it has two, and they're both very like they'd be hard for me to do right now because they're post-game stuff, so they're really hard. But we can go out of bounds and skip over. The room I just flew through is where the second fight would have been. And the added benefit, on top of not having to do like really hard fights, is that this room is supposed to have a bunch of steam popping out of these vents, or these pipes, and it's the most obnoxious thing because it doesn't do any damage to you, but it just knocks you back and like slows you way down. And thankfully, if we don't do the fights, like if we do that skip, then none of the steam loads either. It's great. And also there would be a lot of enemies spawning, and there's none.
Yeah, it does seem very quiet.
Yeah. No, there'd be enemies spawning in like.
Whoa, mine shaft.
The only downside is we cannot get that chest. There is might be able to show it.
There's
that
chest?
An invisible wall right there. I just bonked into an invisible wall.
Is that chest?
Because we did the skip.
I mean, that could be your proof.
It could. It's unlikely. And if it is, there's no way we're finishing this.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
I don't even remember what the proofs even are in the original game.
Because they weren't.
They weren't. Okay.
They weren't in the original game. Yeah, they're another Final Mix thing. You get the proofs from like. Do I want to go further here? I'll go somewhere else. You get the proofs from doing some really hard challenges. One of them is this is where all the data fights are normally.
Yeah.
And they like doing all the data fights gives you one of the proofs.
Okay.
We're gonna do a thing here.
Yeah, I never played Final Mix. I only played the original Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, you should give Final Mix a try. It's really fun.
Probably should. Just teach me the run.
Oh yeah, no worries. That'll be
easy.
Super fast,
nice
easy learn. Definitely not the hardest speed game ever.
Seems easy.
I doubt it's the hardest speed game ever.
I don't know. I think
There's
it's up
some
there.
hard. Have you seen Wind Waker?
I think it's up there. I think it's.
I don't disagree that it's a really freaking hard game.
So we're gonna try to fight Zigbar now. I don't know how.
Never should have betrayed us.
Kind of rude.
Yeah. So
are you team time to reload, or you team R for reload?
It's R for reload.
I know it is R for reload, but what did you hear the first time you played it?
I don't think I paid like any attention as a kid to what any boss was saying while I was fighting them because I was too busy just like panicking on mashing X.
Fair.
All right, so
I don't understand how Zigbar does this. All the
bit.
blood would immediately rush to my head and I would pass out.
You have a little bit of time.
Maybe he like localizes his own gravity field or something.
Yeah, I feel like if you can do that, you could probably control where your blood goes.
All right, I'm trying to like get him to do this, where he changes the room, so that I can go into final form, use Cure to put myself in with a pink MP bar, so that I can potentially stun lock him.
Why do you need
if all
a pink
goes well,
MP bar
I should
for
be
that?
able to just finish him here. Nope. Okay, that's okay.
I've watched enough data org to this is like not trivial.
Oh, stop breaking out. Okay. The reason I put him in the side room was so that if he did break out, he wouldn't do lots of bad stuff that caused me to die.
Put him in the timeout room.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like that you got a map for doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, now you know where to go.
Wow.
Oh, wow, great. We should make our maps do hints or something.
Yeah, that
There's
would make
too many of
sense.
them.
There are so many maps.
Yeah, for a game that really doesn't need any. Like this KH1 needed maps.
Yeah.
This game doesn't need maps.
They just give you like I hate having to unlock the map. That's such like a Zelda thing. And I'm like, just give me the map. I'm dumb. Okay.
Well, in this one, they at least like it's in the very beginning of like every
yeah.
world.
But
It's
in
just
that
like
case,
the first chest.
Just give me it, so I don't have to like feel. I'm like, ooh, a chest. Oh, it's a map.
Yeah.
This is a reference to Dicey Dungeon right here.
Whoa.
Actually, it's a reference to the Yu-Gi-Oh knockoff game that my friend and I made in elementary school called Dice Monsters.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
makes
heard
sense.
about it.
Have you? Is there a rando for that?
Is there a random for Dice Monsters?
There should be.
There
Get
really
on
should
that.
be.
That would be great.
Alright.
I'll have to hit my buddy up. I'll have to.
Yeah, Dice Monsters Rando.
Yeah, bust out the
Episode
old
title.
stuff.
Put that on Archipelago.
Yes, I would run Dice Monsters.
I don't remember like any of our we like made cards and drew little characters and stuff, and I don't remember any of them except that there was one that was like a cloud that's also a magician named Poof. That's all I
like
remember.
Oh wait, this is a card. This is like Yu-Gi-Oh card game. I was thinking like
Yes.
Forbidden Memories.
Forbidden
or-
Memories, which is also a card game.
Well, but it's
Yeah.
a video game of a card game.
Yeah.
That makes more sense that it was a card game.
I'm gonna say that
they
they-
less
Yeah, I'm
programming
gonna say
than
that
elementary school.
they didn't make a video game in elementary school.
You people.
Hey, you don't
do.
know.
I've
You
done that.
people.
It was mostly me modifying like
Oh.
Flash game tutorials and like changing the art, and adding like one feature.
Whoa.
I think I made Hangman on my calculator.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it had both single player and multiplayer modes.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was pretty
They just
impressed
don't have
with
couch co-op anymore. Sad.
Yeah. Hangman on the PS5. I really wish they had some more updates.
Got to bring it back. All right, finish him off with the swag throw.
So I have noticed that I believe we are coming up on coming low on time here. So
Yeah, that's kind of why I decided to go do this world.
understandable.
Because we would have to fight through it to beat the game anyways. And so it's like, we'll give you the harder fights.
Do you have any plugs? Anything you want to plug? Where can people
Yeah.
find you?
So I annoyingly have different names on different platforms because I'm not cool enough to be able to demand the name I want. So the
too.
easiest way is just searching JHobz, JHobz, on Google, and I'm like the top 3 results, I think, are basically my like Twitch, Twitter, and speedrun.com profile. So yeah, find me there. But then also, I do a podcast. Oh God. I do a podcast called Need for Speedrunning that is all about like just, I don't know, chatting speedrunning, but also like looking at games from a watchability perspective. And May's going to be on it soon, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Go
you should all
check
check
that
that
out.
out. It's on like podcast apps and whatnot.
Wherever you find your podcasts.
Yeah.
If you like our show and you're not already following us on Twitter, you should do that at twitter.com/dearpbpod. And then you could learn what the upcoming guest is and when we have a new episode coming out. And you heard an ad for it before, but you can, in fact, sign up for our Patreon. You get, in theory, access to the episodes early. It doesn't always work out, but, you know. But you get a bonus episode once a month. They're sometimes good. So, patreon.com/dearpbpod. And that's it. We'll be back next week with another guest. We haven't booked one yet, but it'll be a person, probably.
Probably, maybe.
Probably. I
yeah.
mean, I don't want to say before we got anyone because you never know. And yeah, Hobbs, you know what we say at the end of every episode, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Definitely no.
Don't be racist.
Yeah, don't be racist. I definitely didn't think it was going to be give me a sandwich or something. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know why my
Bye.
brain went to pseudo. Bye.